Have you ever thought about how the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog? Well, if not, I can't answer that question for you. But hey, welcome to another episode of That Manga Dude. Today we're going to be doing my March reading log. I read a good chunk of volumes this time around, and I'm excited because they are a variety of genres and ages and time periods. It's pretty great, so I can't wait to show you. Let's get started. Woo! Alright, let's start with the first volume that I read in March 2022, and that is this chonky boy, Kakakishojo, The Curtain Rises. This is the prequel to the main series, Kakakishojo, and it is a remarkable read. I was completely blown away just by how much content there was in this book, and it is a chonky book. Like, it's a big boy. Like, this is gonna take you a bit. It took me it took me over 2 days, around like let's say about 3 hours of reading time, maybe. But that's also because I get distracted easily. But like overall, this is just a really great read. There's a lot to consume and digest in here. A lot of very interesting topics are tackled, especially with having to do with acting and with basically becoming a famous pop star and like learning how to like distinguish the line between your career and your life. So I think it's like a really interesting tackle on that, especially because they're all like younger characters. I think they're supposed to be like in high school, like around that time. So this is just really cool, which leads into what also I read, which was the first 2 volumes of the main series, Kakakishojo. Yeah, just more of the same. You don't need to read the Curtain Rises. However, I feel like it gives you so much information about the characters in the main series that it's almost a must read. I know people probably disagree with me on that like this is not a must read, but I would say like if you like this, you should definitely read this. It'll give you more context about why certain characters act the way they do, and just overall give you like a sort of concept as to why certain characters are motivated to do certain things. However, it's not completely necessary. They give you enough content in the first volume that you can kind of gauge where things are going to go. So just as like a heads up for that. Next up, I'm going to be completely honest. So the thing is about this next series, I'm like 95% sure I'm going to get rid of it. I can't do it. I tried it, and I enjoyed the first volume, and then it got really weird, and that is Hiroya Oku's Gigant, or I don't know how to pronounce it, but this is volumes 1 through 3, and yeah, I can't do it, guys. I can't do it anymore. I tried to justify me reading this, and then the stuff that happens in volume 2 was just like, it's just like, okay, is anyone gonna say anything? And then in volume 3 was like that was the last straw for me. I think I couldn't take it anymore. There's too much ridiculousness that occurs, and a lot of illegal stuff too. Like one of the characters, I've been saying this to everybody that I can talk to about it, but every time I think about this last volume that I read, I just go back to like the scene where somebody asks how old the female character is, and she's older than the main character. He's in high school and she's supposed to be like an adult, so it gets hella weird, and the mom is like, hey, don't you know that's a crime? And then like the girl is just like and it's just like, I can't do it. Like I was already semi justifying like the weird integration of 3D into the drawings. Like it's like very obvious 3D, and it's like not, I don't think it's very good. And I would say like it has some very difficult moments in terms of its like characters. I think that a lot of the characters aren't drawn very well, if we're gonna be completely honest. And yeah, it just sucks. And like also the cojones of Hiroya Oku to advertise his other series in this series as like, oh, you should definitely buy this and you should definitely watch it as like part of the story, is like, really? Like, that's crazy. Anyways, I'm gonna stop being negative, but this is probably one of the worst series I've ever read, and this is no joke. So yeah, I'm probably gonna sell this. I can't do it anymore. Now, something that I'm really happy about reading though is this big boy, Dragon Quest: The Adventure of Dai by Riku Sanjo and Koji Inada. These are the manga behind Beat the Vandal Buster, which is one of my, I wouldn't say one of my favorite, but a very enjoyable series that I've been reading recently. And this just released. I don't know if it's for the first time in English, but like it's definitely the first time in a long time if it has ever been released in English. But this volume is fantastic. It has beautiful color pages. The art's great. The story is pretty decent. Like, you'll enjoy yourself if you like shonen, if you like action series. This is like totally up your alley. And this book just looks so good. I mean, like a beautiful spine, a beautiful front cover, like, and it like is solid and has like a nice weight to it. The color is like really nice. It's just like, this is an awesome release, and I'm so happy that they finally brought it over. So yeah, if you like shonen series, this is definitely a must-have. And then up next is one of my current favorite series that I'm reading, and that's Twin Star Exorcists. I read volumes 7 through 9 in March, and if you haven't heard me talk about it and gush about it, you can listen to the February reading log, and I believe also the January reading log. But this is like such an underrated series. I can't believe that no one's talking about it, because it has that perfect mix of like comedy and action and slice of life, and it's just overall it's just like a really well put together story. It seems to be going in a way that I wasn't expecting, and like there's actual consequences for the main characters, which doesn't necessarily happen as often as you would expect in a lot of shonen series. So I don't know, I just really like it, and excited to get more. I know it's been pretty difficult recently to try to find volumes. I think I found volume 9 about halfway through March, if I remember correctly. So yeah, I can't wait to keep collecting and reading more. Okay, so for this next one, I wanted to try and diversify my like pool of reading. I'm very much well known for reading shonen series because that's what I grew up with, and I would say extremely recently, at least within like the past 6 months, I've been expanding into josei, into shoujo, and into more seinen. So this is definitely one that I don't know if it really even has a genre, or it probably does, but The Book of Human Insects by Osamu Tezuka. So this has been suggested by a lot of people that I watch, and I really wanted to give it a chance because I've never actually read an Osamu Tezuka work, which might surprise some people, but it might also not. But this is a really awesome like story just in general. It's crazy. There's a lot of like drama and a lot of just really weird things that happen, and it'll definitely keep you on your toes. So if you like that kind of like thriller femme fatale kind of story, this is like right up your alley. It's definitely really cool, and this cover is so awesome. I love this. Just keep in mind that it is read like from left to right, so it's read more like a comic book than it is a manga. So just keep that in mind if you decide to pick it up. Up next is a series from Kodansha. This is Forget Me Not Volumes 2 and 3. It's interesting because like not a lot of people have been talking about the series, and maybe I'm just late to the party, which is almost always true. But this is a really thought-provoking series. I think is the best way to put it. I can't tell. Like, I like it, and I'm enjoying it, but I wouldn't say it's like great, if that makes sense. Like, I think this is made in a way that like it's supposed to make you think about like the main character and not necessarily like him, but understand that he's trying to fix himself, and you need to figure out why. And that's kind of what this like story is all about. Is like this guy has been kind of a piece of crap his entire life to women, and he's like trying to reconcile, and it's showing you like what led up to him wanting to reconcile and to figure himself out and to apologize and to understand what he did wrong. And I think it's an interesting way to tell a story because you really just don't like the main character, or you shouldn't like the main character because of like the way he goes about things. But there's also like a sense of like that he could change. So I'm curious when that's going to develop. So I'm going to keep reading. But this is the art's really good. I think the art's pretty decent and like just very enjoyable to look at. So yeah, give it a chance. If you can find it. It's been pretty hard to find. So if you can find it, good luck, and I hope you enjoy it. All right, up next is the GOATED, the GOAT, the big greatest of all time, the series that everybody talks about and I never read until now, and that is the man, the myth, the legend, Berserk, Volume 1 by Kentaro Miura. Yeah, it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I could see the gripes that people have with the series, basically right off the bat. And it's definitely not a series for everyone. It's very, very graphic in terms of its violence and in terms of the gore and the sexual, like a lot of the sex and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, if you don't like it, then don't read it. But if you're a person who does like it, don't be a jerk. Don't be a jerk about it, okay? Like, people are allowed to like and dislike what they like and dislike. So if someone doesn't like this series, that's totally okay, because like it's not made for everybody. It has a lot of very, very triggering moments and just overall like very shock factory in a way. So if someone doesn't like that, then don't bother them about it. But yeah, you could talk to me about the first volume. I thought it was enjoyable, so I will probably keep collecting for now, and we'll see. So up next is Our Not So Lonely Planet Travel Guide by Monet Sarai. This is the second volume of becoming a very good series in my eyes. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's a really well done LGBTQ love story between these two men who are traveling the world and will get married at the end, or hopefully get married at the end. So help me God, I guess is the best way to put it. It's beautiful in terms of its visuals. It's beautiful in terms of its storytelling. I think it's done really well. It helps you to digest themes that you may or may not understand. Being a heterosexual male, I don't really understand the struggle of with like sexual identity or with gender identity. So this is just a really interesting story to be able to read and to help me empathize and understand something I may not like understand. So I just really appreciate this series for being able to tell such a beautiful story and in such a cohesive way so that like anybody can really understand. So yeah, give it a chance, especially if you like traveling stories. This is great. I mean, this is like very fun for me. So yeah, can't wait to keep reading more. Up next, My Alcoholic Escape from Reality by Nagatakabe. This is the fourth book? Yeah, the fourth book that's been released in Nagatakabe's like autobiographical series. But this one, yeah, I believe takes place right after the second solo exchange diary, if I remember correctly. This one is very intense. It's probably my favorite one out of the 5 or 4 that I've read. I haven't read the newest one yet. But I really enjoyed this. This was really intense. It was really thought-provoking and really it really gets your brain thinking about like how she's trying to deal with such an intense issue with her life, and it's like it's just like a lot to consume, and it's just like really interesting to hear her perspective on such like a dark and deep topic, especially with like how complex everything is. Yeah, it's just very intense. But if you like if you like her work, this is like another good one, and I actually do like it more than the others because of the orange instead of the pink. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, if you like your autobiographical series, this is really, really good. Give it a chance. Up next is probably one of the most hyped series of 2022 coming out in English. That is Alice in Borderland Volume 1. This was an amazing read, and I'm so happy that I decided to pick it up. This is by Haru Aso. If you didn't know, it's the same mangaka behind Hiding Closer and Zom 100, but he's only the writer on that. So just keep that in mind. But he is the artist and the writer for this one. This is a very intense series about, basically, it's kind of like a death game in a way, where these people are teleported to another world, and it's intense, it's disheartening, but it's also wholesome, and just like, it's just such a beautiful, beautiful story, and I'm so excited to read more. And like, wow, like this is another big chungus by Viz Media. Like, this is really good, and I think like the anime, or not the anime, excuse me, the live action series that by Netflix is also very, very good. I will say that it is a little bit different in terms of the story progression, so just keep that in mind if you're expecting like a one-to-one copy from the manga to the live action or vice versa. So yeah, but overall, very, very good. I'm super excited to get Volume 2 whenever it decides to come out. Up next, Go For It, Nakamura by Syunde? I'm so sorry, I don't know how to say the mangaka's name. But this series is really great. It's about this like student named Nakamura who has a crush on this young boy His name's Hirose, which is this guy here. And it's just a really cute series about this guy trying to become friends first with this character here, with Hirose. And, but like, also like the struggles with like having like sexual urges and all that kind of stuff and wanting to date this man. And it's just overall just like a nice wholesome series. Honestly, it's very funny. It made me laugh really hard. The art's great. It gives me that 90s vibe. Just overall, it's just really fun. I mean, I was genuinely surprised by it, and I'm happy that it's getting reprinted because that's how I picked it up. So yeah, very fun. Excited to read the next part, which I think is coming out soonish. So hopefully I get to read that soon. And one of the big series that I started, or that I continued to read during March, was Again. This is volumes 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. I can't believe no one's talking about this series. Once again, I'm pretty sure I'm going to say this like 5,000 times, but like this is an awesome series about school and about something that I never heard of before. So that was really cool to like hear, to learn more about it and like more about what this is all about. Between it's something called the Oendan, which is kind of like it's like kind of like cheerleading, but more like they're like the ones who run like the chants and the school spirit songs and stuff like that, versus like people who are like go team kind of stuff. So yeah, it's just really cool. The development of the characters is really awesome. There are definitely some characters that are problematic, but I think that's like something that is, I wouldn't say is essential, but it's something that does happen in high school, so it's believable. Because I know people who basically all these characters, I can think of somebody from high school. I'm like, oh yeah, he reminds me of this person, and she reminds me of this person. So it's just, yeah, just a genuinely interesting series. Cool slice of life, and something about, it's a topic about something I've never really heard anything about. So it's cool to learn something about the Oendan and about what that is meant for certain clubs. But this is really funny. The visuals are great, and yeah, excited to read more. I know it's finished, so just gonna be the hunt to get the next volumes, I guess. Alright, up next, it is Smokin' Parade by Jinsei Kataoka and Kazuma Kondo, or Kondo, I don't know how to say their names. But the same mangakas behind Dead Man Wonderland, so I had to pick this up. I'm really late to the party because I know this came out like ages ago at this point, but I managed to find it for a cheaper price, and I was not disappointed. It was like, it felt like Dead Man Wonderland all over again. So very exciting, very dark, very funny actually, and just overall just a fun time. It was a really fast read for me, and I'm excited to read more. It was great. It's a good time. After that, we got ourselves Sherlock Bones, Volume 1. Bone in or boneless, I guess that's up to you, right? But this is a very interesting series. It's one that I've kept my eye on before, and I've never, like, pulled the trigger on wanting to pick up any of the volumes. I think I can get most of them, honestly, pretty easily. But yeah, if you don't know, this is a story about this guy who gets a dog who has... basically embodies Sherlock Holmes, or the soul of Sherlock Holmes has entered the body of this dog. He's been reincarnated, so they solve mysteries together, and that's like the entire plot. So yeah, it's goofy, it's wacky, it's kind of odd. It doesn't do anything particularly like fantastic, but it doesn't do anything bad. So yeah, excited to read more for it. Up next is what a lot of people consider to be one of the best shoujo series of all time, and one of the best historical fiction series. So this is Yona of the Dawn, Volume 1 by Mizuho Kusanagi, and I'm not going to talk about it too much here. I'll just say it was very good, and if you want my full opinion, you can watch the first episode of the FBI, where I analyze this first volume of Yona of the Dawn. So yeah, I hate to self-plug, but here we are. I'm self-plugging, haha. But yeah, give it a chance. After that, we got ourselves Dragon Ball Super Volume 3, and it is more of the same. I don't have much to say about it because it's Dragon Ball. So if you like Dragon Ball, it's totally up your alley. But yeah, it's something. That's all I can really say about it. So yeah, give it a chance if you like Dragon Ball. Alright, Haru also strikes again! This is volume 5 of Zom 100, Bucket List of the Dead. Yeah, just another very enjoyable series that I am very happy to own. I really like the covers and how like kind of like wiggly they are, which is, I know, like something that a lot of people would probably dislike, but this is just a very fun, doesn't take itself too seriously, but yeah, just really, it's very enjoyable. The visuals are nice. Haru also has his great storytelling in it, so, you know, if you like his work, then yeah, give it a chance. Another series, or another book that I read for the FBI, this is Lupin III, Greatest Heists. So if you want my full opinion, you can go and watch that video. It's, yeah, I think I did pretty okay on it. Yeah, let me know if you think it was good or not. But yeah, this was a really good release, and hopefully we get more Lupin III, especially in manga from 7 Seas. So that'd be cool. Okay, this is the series that everybody knows and everybody's talking about because it deserves all of the recognition it gets. It is Blue Period Volume 6. This was fantastic. I got it early and it blew me away. I mean, they always blow me away. If you've never read Blue Period, you should really get started on it now because I think it's like that perfect blend of slice of life and like action in a way. And the visual storytelling is fantastic. The characters are all very interesting and very well written. Just overall, it's just a great time. And this volume 6 is like very intense, which is funny because like they're taking the entrance exams for the school. So if you don't know anything about art school, this is a pretty accurate representation of like some of the intensity that actually does occur. So yeah, definitely give it a shot. This series is awesome, and I'm excited to have volume 6. And on to one of my favorite sports series, because I finally was able to get the next volume that I needed. This is volumes 15, 16, 17, and 18 of Whistle. Just an overall fantastic soccer series. I love soccer or football, depending on where you're from. And man, I don't know, it just hits different, man. It kind of, like, for me, it's not as good as Haikyuu, but I don't think anything will ever beat Haikyuu for me, but I think it's telling of how to play soccer, and it's teaching you how to, like, how it's played, but also not holding your hand. I think is very much appreciated. I really, really like this series. The main character is very relatable, especially for me, because I'm a shorter person, and he's extremely short, so, like, yeah, I'm excited to finish it up, but I know I'm going to be very sad because I'm getting close to the end, so yeah. But overall, this is a fantastic soccer series, fantastic sports series in general. Give it a chance if you can. Yahoo! On to the next set of books. This is Komi Can't Communicate Volumes 8 and 9. I finally got Volume 8 because it's been like the volume that's been like basically impossible to find. So I got to read more, and it was more of the same. So if you like Komi, it's great. If you don't like Komi, that's great too. You enjoy what you like, man. So yeah, I don't know. It's just more enjoyable. The relationships are definitely getting more spicy and more intense. So I'm excited, and I'm hoping that something happens between certain characters soon. Up next, I got these a little bit whack, but this is We Were There, volumes 2 and 3, and holy moly, like, the intensity of this series is impossible to describe. I was never expecting any of this to happen, like that happens in these 2 volumes at all, and I think that's why I like it so much. The visuals are okay. It's actually probably my least favorite part, but I think the story is so intriguing to me that I can't stop reading. I can't put it down. Like, I just feel like I'm watching a slow train wreck, and that's kind of interesting to say the least. So excited to read the next volume. I do have volume 4, but I'm not reading it because finding volumes for this is like super hard, so I kind of want to, like, you know, take my time with the read. But yeah, this was awesome. Yeah, can't wait to read more. Alrighty, this is a book that I've had for a while, and I definitely didn't read it because of choice. This is Burn the Witch, Volume 1 by Tite Kubo, also known as the man, the myth, the legend, the person behind Bleach. This is Pretty good, honestly. I was genuinely surprised by it. If you have watched the anime or like the OVAs, I don't know what it's called, but it's basically that, but in manga form, and that's the way I prefer it. So yeehaw! It came with a really cool idea, which was a slipcover, but this slipcover is awful. Like this thing broke. This thing broke literally the day I bought it. I got it out of the shrink wrap and it's just straight up just broke. So, like if they wanna sell us slipcovers, which would be super cool, because honestly, this is like such an awesome concept, and it's like it looks really nice when it's in the slipcover. The issue is that the slipcover is broken. So like, can you at least put some better glue on it? Like, I don't want to do that. That's not my job. Like, as a consumer. So yeah, very frustrated by the product, but enjoyed the story inside. So yeah, if you like Tite Kubo, this is a must pick up. All right. One that I was holding off on getting for a long time, but managed to find it for a decent price. This is Bungo Stray Dogs Volume 1. It's nothing like what I expected. I didn't know what I was expecting. I think I thought it was going to be like a mafia story, and the mafia are semi-involved, but yeah, it's just overall just a weird series. I mean, like, there's like a main character who, trigger warning, is like his thing is he likes to try to commit suicide, which is something to say the least. But the cast seems very interesting. The main character is pretty cool. Atsushi is I think is his name. Yeah, Atsushi Nakajima, and yeah, it's just like a weird supernatural like detective agency. So that's pretty cool, and I'm excited to read more. Up next, probably one of the most hyped series that was announced for print release, and we finally got it out. It is Sakamoto Days Volume 1. I'm not going to actually talk about it right now, because I think I'm going to do this for an FBI, so just look out for that when I get to that. Up next, I've said this, I raved about it on Twitter and on Instagram, but Spy Family Volume 7, this is another just amazing series. I can't sing the praises of Spy Family more. I mean, it is that perfect mix of like so many different genres that shouldn't work but totally do all together. It's remarkably well written, the visuals are great, the gags are hilarious, the action's actually really solid. Overall, it's just like I'm blown away by how much occurs within each volume and how much it kind of ties into the main story, even when it really feels like it doesn't. Even like the main antagonists and like the main antagonists, or whatever you want to call them, are actually genuinely very interesting, and some of them you even sympathize for. So that's cool, and that's what I like. And yeah, if you want a perfect mix of comedy, slice of life, romance, action, it's got everything. I mean, this series is so flipping cool, and the only downside is that the releases are very slow, and that's totally understandable. You know what? Take your time. I appreciate you. Up next, I finally got it! I finally did it, y'all! Pokemon Adventures Volume 1! So if you don't know, I'm a huge Pokemon fan. I played the game. I've played every generation except for the newest one, so Sword and Shield and Legends Arceus, and that's kind of by choice, but yeah, Pokemon holds this very special place in my heart, so being able to actually start to pick up the volumes means a lot to myself, and I probably should have done this earlier, but yeah, just genuinely such a great manga series. I don't know if you've ever read the Pokemon Adventure series, but like it is surprisingly dark. It's very weird. It has like all the characters that you expect there to be, but they're all like some of them are criminals, and you're like, wait, you're a criminal? That's weird. So that's pretty cool to see like that kind of stuff. But yeah, if you want like a genuinely interesting take on the Pokemon series, this is a good way to go. All right. Whew. Alive, the Final Evolution. Tadashi Kawashima. Art by Adachi Toka, which is the same mangaka behind Noragami. Yeah, this is a pretty cool series. Basically, like these people have basically like kind of like mental seizures in a way, where like they like see like the universe and experience or whatever. which then leads to like a whole host of suicides across Japan and across like the world. And it's basically these characters trying to figure out what the hell is going on. And it's really cool. It's really well written. Just overall such a fun time, and I'm excited to read more. I know it's out of print here in the US because it's Del Rey, and Del Rey went defunct a while back, so we're gonna have to see what happens if I decide to continue collecting, if I can even find the volumes, because they've been impossible to find. But yeah, this was a genuinely fun volume to read. So part of the change in the sound quality and also the video, but I also did read Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 15. I forgot to mention this, and because I don't know why it wasn't written down on my reading log, but I definitely read this, and now I'm very sad, and that's all I can really say. But this is an awesome cover and an awesome volume of Jujutsu Kaisen, and that's it. Coming into the final stretch, we have Penguin and House Volume 1 by Akihiro Ieda. It's a slice of life series about this dude who owns a penguin. It is cute. It's cute as hell. It's funny. Yeah, if you like that kind of stuff, this is right up your alley. Baccano Volume 3. I finally got the last volume after a long awaiting because I bought it through Amazon. The first one I got was messed up, so I had to send it back, and then I got it again, and this one is not as bad. It's still not, like, particularly in the best condition, but it'll do. And I'm really sad because I could have picked this up in way better condition while I was in vacation, but I was a fool and completely forgot, so now here we are. This is a really nice ending to the manga. I really wish we could have more. That's probably like my only gripe with it, is that like, because I love Baccano so much, it's my favorite anime, I wish we got more, but this is some nice backstory, basically before the anime occurs, when I remember, so, yeah, just genuinely such a really great, really good series, and it's only 3 volumes. If you can find it, good luck, because, yeah, it's been like nearly impossible to find, so excited to have it, and I'm so happy that I got to read it. Second to last volume, and I was singing its praisings on social media once again. It is Dai Dark Volume 1 by Q Hayashida. If you don't know who that mangaka is, it's the same person behind Dorohedoro, and like, this was bonkers, absolutely bonkers. This is such a crazy series. So much just wild stuff happens. Like, not like within the first couple of pages, just some crazy stuff happens, and like you're just like, what the hell's going on? But it's like controlled chaos is the best way to put it. Genuinely just super funny. It's super dark. It's very gory. It's very funny. It's very fun in general. The main character is very likable, along with his like partner, I guess is the best way to put it. And the world that they're creating or the world that's being created within this manga is very, very interesting, and just a really interesting take on the sci-fi genre, I think is the best way to put it. So excited to read more, and this release is actually really good. I know I was talking to someone left a comment saying that they wish that the releases were bigger, and while I do agree in some parts, I actually do kind of prefer this smaller one, just because like it's easier to digest in a way. So yeah, let me know if you disagree with me on that. And the last volume I read is a very old one, actually. This is Red Prowling Devil Volume 1 by Toshimitsu Shimizu. I read this literally last night, which won't make sense to you because I will be releasing this video probably a few days after I say this. So, but this is just a genuinely okay series. I think like the jets are drawn really well, and like all of the aircraft are drawn really well. But the story's not that interesting per se. Like, it's just basically this girl committed some massive crimes, and her way of repaying, or whatever you want to call it, repaying the debt, is she has to go on these secret missions, basically blowing stuff up. So like, if you like that, this is a story just for you. I don't know where you can read it because it's printed by Comics One, which is I'm pretty sure a publisher that's completely gone by now. Yeah, but I'm probably gonna pick up the rest of the series because I did find it pretty cheap, so we'll see what happens. And that's gonna be the end of the manga reading log for March 2022. I hope you enjoyed it, and I know I read a bunch of random stuff, so If you liked anything that you saw, let me know. Or if you have read any of the volumes that I did show off, then let me know as well in the comments below. I'd love to know what you guys read as well, so if you leave that in the comments, I will check them out, and hopefully maybe they'll be in the April reading log, or we're going to talk about it if I've already read it. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video, so you know what to do. You can like, you can comment, you can favorite, you can subscribe, or you can do none of those things, because if you're watching this video and you made it all the way here, that's enough for me. So yeah, you have yourself a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.